Sexpot Comedy, collaborative, community-driven comedy from Denver, Colorado. Now and then, here and there, and always at sexpotcomedy.com.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to another episode of Talkin Shop. I'm your host, creator of this damn thing, Anthony Crawford. And hey, all the imaginary people in the crowd, go ahead and give it up for Matt, working hard for you here at Mutiny Info Cafe, and Sexpot for letting us do this and doing all the technical stuff that, hey, I just don't know how to do. Appreciate that.
There's a lot of wires back there.
Yeah, man, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. That's why my main man Wally is here.
Hi, Wally.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate that, Wally, my main man, second in command here at Talkin Shop. And for those that have never seen, we are live today. For those that's never seen this before or actually listened to the podcast, this is the most selfish thing I've ever created, and I can't believe people like it. This is literally, I just find the best people I can get my hands on in the comedy world to come and talk about how they do what they do, mainly because, hey, I wanted to steal ideas and thoughts from people. And my whole idea behind this is to one day pick the brain of Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. Until then, I get the best people that I really can get my hands on. And today is by no means an exception to the rule. I really have been looking forward to this show. And usually at the beginning of these, I drop a little bit of advice to whoever's listening, whoever's willing to accept it. This one mainly is because of our guest. And a lot of people, especially in North Carolina, where I'm from, I reached out to them, told them to please pay attention to this one. Because back home, a lot of people wait for Good Nights in Raleigh or the Comedy Zone franchise or Dead Crow in Wilmington to give them time, and that's all they do is try their best to get on those stages. When really, and do that, by all means, like here in Denver, Comedy Works and the Improv, they're amazing. Please, yeah, go check them out. Go to them. However, do not wait for them. Don't wait for them. Create your own opportunities, It's great to work for the clubs, but if you listen to anybody, any of the higher ups in any of the clubs, Deacon Gray here at Comedy Works, if you listen to him, he'll immediately say, yeah, please work on your acts on other stages. The Improv, they'll ask you, have you performed anywhere else? Especially back in North Carolina, they'd always ask you, where do you perform? Where do you work? And you can't just rely on the clubs to work you. You're basically spinning your wheels. You got to create your own opportunities. Create a mic. Create a showcase. Team up with people. Create something that way. Get groups together. Do something to better your chance of getting better. Like the mic I run now here, I think it's the 8th mic I've ran. And the showcases I run, I know I'm in the double digits now with them, but that was mainly because I was sick of driving an hour to go do mics and damn it, Emily. I was sick of driving an hour to go do mics, and why would I do that when I could just create my own and get my mic time that way, and especially back home in North Carolina, y'all really need to start doing that. Y'all have enough comics to where y'all can create so much stage time, and because that's definitely what we're doing here in Denver. And my guests today have crushed it doing that in Fort Collins, and it means something to me because I'm not gonna lie. When I went home, it sucked to be like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna go do this show, and that is it. That is it. Okay, all right. Show starts at 7. Sweet. Done at 8:30. Sweet. Done? Oh, like really done. Damn. We're here. I'm used to sweet. 7 o'clock show. Done at 8:30. I can still hit 2 mics.
Yeah, right.
You know, and the only way, everyone knows this, the only way you can get better is to get on stage more. And you got to have the stage time, man. The only way to get it is to create it, you know, because the clubs aren't going to give you that much chance until you're the guy or the girl. You know, they're just not going to. They're going to make you work your way up, which they should. And I don't know, if you're cool just doing like 2 minutes somewhere once a week, fine. I mean, don't get mad at not getting booked, you know. But these guys that I'm about to introduce right now, they created. And they was like, well, if y'all aren't going to book us, we'll book ourselves. And now they're straight up getting booked. You know what I mean? Like, straight up, you know. And it's something I want people to really think about. Create your own destiny, man. Create your own opportunities. All right. With that being said, I want to introduce my guests that I'm so happy to have on here because they have paid me a lot, kind of, over the day.
I'd say probably more than anybody else.
Yeah, and I appreciate the hell out of that. Can't wait to do your shows again.
Yeah.
But I genuinely love these guys, not just because they paid me several times, but because they're actually really, really good guys, man. The Fort Comedy Crew. Give it up for Kyle Pogue, Mallory Wallace, and fucking David Rodriguez. I love these guys. They are literally clapping for themselves because they are awesome like that.
I was clapping for Emily.
Yeah, well, Em is just a treat.
I was clapping for us, but I got sad that I was clapping for ourselves, and then I stopped.
I was
man.
only clapping for me, not you guys.
We're clapping for the internet right now.
Hey, internet.
Yeah.
Now I genuinely love you guys, man. Y'all are newer comics that took your own destiny in your hands and are crushing it. You know, I couldn't be happier with you guys.
Oh, thank you.
How did y'all like form? What made y'all decide to come together?
Well, it probably started with Kyle starting the boot. He was like 4 or 5 months in, and I was a couple months ahead of him. And he started the show because we didn't have any shows in Fort Collins. He went out and, 4 or 5 months in, he was just like, there's no shows. I want a show. I'm just going to do it. He found a badass venue. And I was like, hey, you need a headliner. Sam Talon had just posted. He's like, hey, I need to work out some new time. I was like, you should fucking book this guy. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And then so he did, and Sam crushed, of course.
Like he does.
Still one of my top 5 sets that I've witnessed was Sam that night.
Yeah, we put the show together. We packed the whole house. Sam came up there to do new material, and he saw that. He's like, hey, what you guys have put together here is awesome. Like, I'm going to do good. I'm not going to dick around. And, he punished him for, over an hour.
He went an hour 20 that night.
Yeah.
It was great. It was really great.
And and then after right after that,
announced the show too. I mean, that announced the boot. You know, it was a stamp.
Right after that, Kyle was like, "Hey, do you want to help me book this?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I do. Absolutely. This is great." And then after a couple months of running it, Mallory was like, "Hey, you guys need help with social media and all this stuff. Like, I can do that. I want in on this." And we're like, "Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it." And then
I think I just came to a couple and I was like, this should be full. These are amazing. Like, they were bringing up really great comics. Yeah. And then I was like, I just know how to do it already because I've done some marketing and stuff. And also I like these guys. And I was like, all right, cool. Let's work together. I want to be part of this. I want more comedy in Fort Collins.
She was seriously just like, hey, I want to be a part of this. And we're like, okay.
I don't know if I even asked. I just said, I was like, and now I'm part of this.
I do remember you just started working there. Like, that was it. It was like, it was great. So I want to one amendment though to that story. There was Pateros and Crazy Carl. There was 2 shows going on.
Yep.
And Crazy Carl's. Yeah, I forgot about Crazy
Pateros is run by Jacob Erdman, who
still
is
one of the best shows.
It's amazing.
I actually got to do that next week.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's been so good lately. But he's like one of my closest friends. So even as a new comic, I knew for sure that I was going to get on that show, and I was still like, "Nah, it's not soon enough. Like, we need right now. We need a show. We need a show." Mm-hmm. And then but when I started, I only knew Fort Collins comics, and there was like 15 people, and I was like, oh man, this can go. I'm never gonna run out of talent. This is great. And then I quickly realized, like, thank God David already knew everybody down here, and it was just like, yeah, I'll help you with this. And I was like, that'd be cool. Yep.
Kyle's probably the one that the reason we hit the ground running as fast as we did is probably largely due to Kyle being like, there are no rules. I want to do this. Let's just do it. Like, sometimes in larger scenes, if newer comics try to start something, like he'd be like, hey, don't get too big for your britches. Slow down. You haven't paid your dues, haven't earned this, whatever. He's like, nah, fuck that. We're doing this now.
Is the common rule of thumb that I heard from everybody, like, don't even try to start something in your first year.
Yeah.
Every single person told all of us, you have to take money. You have to make money from your own shows. You have to. And right away, we were like, fuck that.
No.
We're giving all the money to comics.
Yeah.
The more we pay the comics,
do.
the more comics will want to be on our show, which we still do.
Yeah.
We don't really, we really rarely make money.
I think we took a loss on every boot show for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
And
like,
I think
gladly. Yeah, because that was important to us. Yeah. We kept pressing them for more money. It was important to us to our first benchmark was like, we want to be able to pay headliners at least $100. Like, that's important to us. It's important to us to pay every comic, not just drink tickets.
Pay every comic, even opening comics.
Yeah.
Even drop-in spots. We give everybody money.
Yeah.
And we understand that that's not possible at every venue, especially down here where it's so saturated, where, there's not as much of a need in the venues. It's hard to get a bigger budget like that. But, I mean, Sexpot came on board and they help us out, help us pay comics, which is absolutely huge. And we valued the integrity of the show in that way above everything else. And, that shone through, and people, gained comics' attention and respect immediately.
Right.
And so more people wanted to do the show, so the show was more successful, from that point. And I remember it was like the second show, Kyle, we got an email from the owner of the manager of the venue saying, like, hey, my aunt is coming. She is kind of sensitive, so don't, make sure there's nothing like offensive. and we had like Dylan Ames booked on the show. God. We had a couple people booked on the
This has been a Sexpot Comedy Joint, collaborative, community-driven comedy produced by Andy Jewett and Kayvon Khalid-Bari. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, with technical support from Isaac Miller. Every day at sexpotcomedy.com or at a show near you. Until next time, be well, friends.